that I was running into a lot of errors, right? With like the YouTube, Google authentication, like it was definitely me. I just wasn't really sure on how to implement it. I was definitely just probably entering the wrong strings into the wrong places. So I decided to make let me just let me just in the last video, you saw me run into all these errors. In the last video, you saw me run into all these errors with the YouTube authentication string. Also, I think just with everything that I was trying to do and like to record this video, it was just making my laptop really slow because I guess my laptop's not powerful enough for that. So, I think the last video, I was like, hey, if this doesn't work out, even though I really want to troubleshoot this, I'm probably just gonna take the advice, excuse me, of the starter story people and actually just start over, which is exactly what I did, right? So if you go back, I'm gonna kind of walk through it in just Lovable, but I created an entirely new app. I started over. I used different prompts, I would say. I just basically used some prompts to make the building of the app more step by step and systematic. So I started with a blank project, and then I gave uh, these are like the prompts that I went through, and I basically just like answer the prompts one after the other, and just know with these prompts, like I generated it using AI, but also like I gave in like, hey, this is what I'm trying to do, this is what I want to see. I connected Supabase, I connected GitHub, all those things. Actually, that's actually pretty easy. And I would say this time around, I definitely let Lovable do a lot more. I would say, on one hand, like I said, I do like to learn these things and understand it and understand like what's going on in the back end. But I would say this time I said, hey, do this stuff in Supabase. Like, just be like when you connect Supabase and you connect GitHub, you're not just connecting it just to like connect it into save stuff. Like Lovable will actually do stuff in Supabase for you. Like you don't have to do everything. You don't. I think like the only thing you need to do is add the API keys. Other than that, they'll create edge functions, um, and they'll create everything needed in Supabase for your app to run. Which I know I wasn't doing that in the last few videos, but once I just like ran these prompts and I saw everything, I was like, okay, like Supabase, Lovable will just do everything in Supabase for you, and it'll tell you when it needs you to add your like API key. So basically, I went through like maybe like 14 prompts. I want to say 14 prompts. There was a few bugs. I told Lovable to fix it. It fixed it, and now at this point we have a fully functioning app. To be honest, the only this is day 6 of the AI bootcamp, right? But I did this in like I want to say like 2.5 hours, which is like pretty crazy because this is like my second app that I've built in using AI. The other one didn't even like work correctly, but then I just used these other prompts. I already knew how to connect Supabase, all that other stuff. I knew where to get the API key, so it was easy just to generate new API keys, do whatever I need to do in Google Console. I used Lovable more and making sure that I grabbed the correct strings and everything. And then I created this. I'm not gonna lie, I created this like I want to say like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Um, Again, ran into some issues, got them fixed. Said, hey, this is what I want the output to look like, and this is essentially it. Now it's not done, right? Like, so let me just open up the preview. It's not done. Obviously, I would say it's very close to being done. Like, I would say for me, since this is like the first functional app I've ever built using AI, um, I'm definitely gonna launch this sooner rather than later. Uh, but let me just show you the app, and then I'll talk about like the stuff uh, that I want to improve on, right? So this is the homepage. I like the copy, transform YouTube videos into Instagram carousels, which, that this is like the MVP, right? Use AI to automatically convert YouTube videos. Like I created all this, everything you need. Um, this I'm using Apple's UI guidelines. So, and it was the same with the last app. Like when you're like, oh, this kind of looks familiar. Yeah, I'm like using Apple's UI guidelines because a lot of people use Apple, so it makes sense to use their user interface design guidelines to like make an app. Just if you don't know, it's just something like I picked, right? This is homepage, stuff on the bottom. John Doe, made with love by John Doe, right? And then you go to the dashboard. So I'm already logged in, and instead of the Google Auth stuff, I just said, hey, we're just gonna do a sign in, right? You're just signing in. You have a username and a password, and you're signing in. So now we're at the dashboard. This is something I've already created, right? But we'll just do another one. So I made the app a little bit simpler. So last time with TubeLoop, um, I said, hey, I want the app to connect to someone's YouTube account and then automatically pull the videos, pull the metadata of the videos from that YouTube account, and then generate Instagram carousels from there. Which is definitely something I would say I'm gonna keep building on this. Just I'm gonna keep building on this. But I would say like, hey, for something I'm trying to build with AI for the first time, it's not much of an MVP. Like maybe if I got the auth working, yeah, it'd have been fine. But I'm glad I restarted and I just said, hey, what's another way I can do this? And I said, okay, let's just me paste in a URL, and then upon pasting in the URL, it creates the Instagram carousel, and that's what we have here. So first thing you need to do is paste in a video URL. I'm just going to use one that I think I used before. Let's see what this one is. Just yeah. So this is how to make original thumbnails using only YouTube, only using Chat GPT, and this is just a video from a channel called How to AI. Right. Um, when I prompted this, I said, hey, what we're gonna do with the URL. What you're gonna do with the URL, you're gonna pull the video, um, transcribe it using AI. So I am using OpenAI's key here, an OpenAI API key. Pull the video, get the transcript of the video, listen to the audio of the video, basically, or analyze the words, and then draw the key points of the video, and then create the carousel for that, right? So it pulls. So here's the video, and then and I actually got to change this UI. And then eventually you go down. I gave it 4 image styles to create the carousel images. So the carousel, you have images, and I said, hey, you can do a photorealistic with the images that you create for the carousel, uh, Galibi style, manga style, or like Hanna Barbera. So people who know like Scooby Doo and stuff. I believe that like falls under Hanna Barbera. And then you choose the number of slides. So I said, hey, and this is me like making it a minimum viable product. I said, hey, we're only doing. You can choose the number of slides, but it's only 3, 4, 5. And then you can add in a narrative or key themes you want to emphasize in your carousel if you wanted to. Um, so I chose. What did I choose? I think I chose like Gilby style. I chose 4, and then the number changes right here, and then I just say generate carousel, right? And then we wait for AI to do thing to do the video analysis. Let's say it says it all down here: video analysis, content generation, image creation, finalization. Right. I remember this part right here. This part right here. I had some issues, and I had Lovable just say I just told it to try to fix it. And it did. Yeah, it took a few tries, but eventually it fixed it. Right. So, all right. So it looks like it just stalled. But I just refreshed the page. I made this 2 days ago. And then this is created 4 minutes ago, right? So we click view, and this is what we get, right? So this is the Instagram carousel. I coded the app to like give us the preview of the carousel in basically like the preview format of what an actual carousel would look like. And this is kind of where I'm at, and this is where I need to fix some things. But I'll get to that. But essentially, this is the carousel. This would be the preview. This would be the caption, and that's supposed to be the images, the image. So slide one, slide two. Oh, I gotta fix that too. Three, four, right? So, and then if you oh, they have a regenerate button too. I didn't even mess with that. Yeah, AI just made that on its own. And then if you wanted to download it, you can just download it as a zip. And then if we go to the zip file, it would have the artifacts in there. So as you can see, this is not a good carousel, right? So I would say that's a big thing I need to fix. I need to give it better prompts. And also like kind of fix this preview, because the caption would go down here if we're doing if we're doing the preview like it's supposed to be. The caption will be down here, and then this is showing the image, and it looks like whatever image, I don't know, whatever prompt that Lovable created, it's not good. So that's one thing I would say, that's a big thing I need to change, because like no one's paying for anything like this, right? But uh yeah, so I needed to tell Lovable, hey, like what I fully expect, and it's really just like the actual images, and the captions. And when I say captions, like SEO, Instagram SEO optimized like captions with hashtags, because I know Instagram's big on hashtags. But that's essentially, I would say that's the tool, and I would say this is a good minimum viable product. So yeah, I need to work on a few things as far as I wrote a list. I would say I need to get a better color scheme, because this is clean, but if time permits, figure out a better color scheme. But I do want to actually deploy this app sooner rather than later. So I'm not going to harp on fixing the color scheme. I'm going to fix everything else and actually get a working product that I like wouldn't feel bad about selling to people before I like harp on the color scheme, because the color scheme is very simple, like hex code, CSS. So better color scheme. I'll fix the AI prompts, make sure that it actually generates good image and correctly sized images too. That's a big thing. Correctly sized images. I'm writing notes down. Um, um, I have to like figure out the pricing too, which Starter Story has a video on it, so hopefully it'll answer all my questions. But right now I'm like using like personal API, like my personal card for the API key, and I'm like, yo, is that how businesses do this? They just top up their API with money from like their business card, and then people are just using it, and you just gotta price it correctly so that you're making a profit, enough profit to pay for the API stuff. Like I don't know that type of stuff, and obviously it sounds like the boring stuff, but that all that stuff is very important, right? And fix up just like some of the John Doe stuff. Respin is not the name I got. I just purchased a domain, so you guys will learn about that later. But I would say, yeah, just going back to the beginning. This would be considered day 6 of the AI boot camp. I'm gonna be honest, I did take some breaks like during the weekend and stuff as far as like actually working on this project. So when I say day 6 of the AI boot camp, it's like day 6 of me sitting down and working on this. So I'm not gonna lie, I did have some days off, but either way, I would say this is very good, right? This is what I was hoping to learn from this boot camp. Um, I do. Overall, yeah, this is great. This is great. This is definitely what I intended to learn from the boot camp. And honestly, this is something that solves a problem. Again, like it's best to build apps that solve your own problems, and then usually other people have those same problems. So in my case, I have a YouTube channel, a few YouTube channels, and I want to expand the brand of a specific channel to Instagram. And I was like looking on Upwork and Fiverr and places as far as like hiring someone to do it. And I was like, man, I don't know if I want to add this extra expense like onto my business card. My like I don't know if I want to add this extra expense to grow this Instagram channel. But then I was also like, I'm kind of interested in AI coding, and I want to see like how this works. So this kind of solves like two problems for me. One's not a problem; it's a curiosity. I want to learn a bit more about using AI implementations in businesses and to grow your business and make money. But also, I just didn't. I didn't want to. I didn't want to put the extra. I didn't want to add the extra expense of doing this specific job of creating Instagram carousels and captions to my business. So I said, hey, I'm gonna find a way to automate this to like cut these costs down. Um, so yeah, this is day 6 of the AI bootcamp. Um, I'll come back with another video of when I implement the changes that I said I was going to implement. I know like the last few videos, I was like walking through stuff, but ultimately, yeah, only have a laptop. My computer's just not strong enough for me to like walk through everything. So I'm just gonna be giving updates from now on as far as what I have worked on, and then hopefully you still get some value from those types of videos.